What is it? Still good morning. Good morning.
It is. Good morning.
Coach, first of all, when you look back on Saturday night, a lot of talk about the long runs, the consecutive runs for a touchdown. What did you see out of your group up front when you watched the tape?
You know, I think that they're understanding the part of sustaining blocks longer. Within that 14-play drive, the one thing, as positive as that was in the end result, there were still things along the way of the up-tempo things that we're doing that some things got sloppy. Whether it been pad level, whether it been one guy or two guys maybe not sustaining long enough. It was encouraging the end result, but there's still a lot to teach off of it, which was good. You know, the thing that we can't rely on is big plays. We got to have drives that, you know, we sustain the ball and keep the ball for a period of time, which was good. You know, Rajon Neal's big run was exciting, but we can't rely on the big plays. And that's probably the one thing with the ones that was definitely a teaching point and something for us to build on was I didn't think we played consistently as a group. There was guys that played solid, but overall consistently, and especially on some critical downs. You know, there were some downs, and especially late in the day, where we had the 4-minute drill where we need to finish that off. We cannot have a kicking situation at that point in time. We got to end the game. We got to win the game in that regard. So, you know, there was a lot of positives, but there were some great teaching points that our players still left the meeting room yesterday, where I said, you know what, we're not anywhere where we need to be yet, and they realized that. You know, I mean, there was some individual guys that did some things well, but collectively, it's still not there.
You said from the get-go that you were looking for number 6, number 7 in terms of your depth. Dylan Wiseman, how big of a step did he take for you Saturday night? And I know it wasn't just that one night, but what do you like?
The strides he's making each day are encouraging because, again, there's two questions a freshman has to answer when they come in if they're truly going to play as a freshman. If they can handle it mentally and if they can handle it physically. And he's answered both of those because physically he's able to hold up, and he's really right now one of our most physical guys as far as knockdowns and all that. But he also understands the mental part of it, which has been really good. So it's allowing him to play fast. So he's definitely worked himself into that role where his opportunity to play is going to be sooner than later from what I originally thought. Marcus Jackson was solid. Matt Crowder was solid. You know, again, still at the tackle spot, there still needs to be some improvement. We're not quite there yet. You know, Marquise Pear and Jacob Gillum and Kyler Kerberson are given some, you know, some positive reps at times, but they need to be more consistent.
One thing that has stood out is the amount of flags, whether it's delay a game or offsides. How is your unit in particular doing with procedure penalties?
It started out poorly this camp, and the last 2 practices, counting Saturday morning, so really 3 with today, we've been relatively clean with eliminating the mistakes. And here's the thing that, you know, that is a rhythm thing again, whether we go different ways of controlling the cadence, whether it be quarterback, whether it be silent cadence, whatever the case may be, is those tackles getting in rhythm with the timing of the snap and so forth. And that's something that's just over time. It isn't something to get out on practice 1 and expect to have it mastered and, you know, setting on the edge and those type of things. But the part of the hands being inside and all those things, you know, we're working at that. We haven't had any foolish penalties. I know, I think back Saturday, we did have a personal foul by Alex Boyd that we can't have, and that was just an emotional deal that we got to control that. We can't allow that to happen. And but overall, I think it's improved for us.
With 4 quarterbacks working at different cadences, how difficult is it to avoid those kind of procedure penalties?
That's a good question. You know, the one thing is that the rhythm of the cadence that Coach Jake makes sure that the quarterback's on, staying the same with it. If that may, you know, in the way in which obviously he's given the command. And you heard Coach Jones out there today as far as commanding, you know, the alpha male, the voice, the presence that he has with taking control, that every quarterback's rhythm has got to be the same. There cannot be. So when we do center quarterback exchange in the beginning of practice, it's one quarterback each time giving the cadence, so it's all the same rhythm, whether it be on 1, whether it be on 2. Hard count, so forth. So we work hard at that, and that's a great question because they are all 4 getting work. So
Thanks.
You said in the spring you weren't physical enough. An offensive line coach probably never probably never think you're physical enough. Do you feel like you're